Reverend Natalie Jean, and we're back with you with the Infinite Elevation Hour. I'm here as usual with my co-host,
Erline Germain.
And we're here to bring you some wonderful spiritual insights into today, into living the life, the good, and everything associated with spirituality. How was your day, Erline?
It was great, thank you. How was yours?
Segue. You notice how Erline likes to segue into asking me how my day was. It's really been busy. It's been a hectic week, especially today at my 9-to-5 job. We have a lot of things going on, acquiring new properties, which is a wonderful thing because we'll be able to help the elderly and also people in affordable housing. But we have to do all these applications, and it's just crazy. But I try to stay subdued. Peace be still is all I can say. And how was your week?
Eventful, I guess, is yours. You know, we were in the house for most of it, and the other 2 days I had to kind of do catch up with myself because I got a little relaxed for the first time. No, but I caught up on some work that I needed to do for my classes, and also, I don't know, I just got a chance to take a breath of pause, if that makes sense.
Beautiful.
And even from my work with the kids, it was like a nice little break for me. And then I was able to like do some artwork, like paint, do some drawing, which I don't really have time for regularly. So I try to make the best of it because I was getting a little bored, and then I was like, okay, what can I do? Oh, I have some ideas, things that I've always wanted to do, but feel like I don't have a chance to. So.
Oh, there would have been a nice, beautiful thing for you that I should have forwarded to you. And on Living Social, they had an art class that you could take, but then they had wine with it as well. So you could have come up with some kind of really creative thing after a drink or two.
Oh, Lord.
Living Social is actually one of the greatest things. My sister and I did a wine tasting. We actually had 6 glasses of wine, and we learned the different ways to assess which are the best wines. I love it, and eventually I'd like for us to have our own wine. But that is in the future. So today we're going to talk about many things. We're going to talk about angels. We're going to talk about the angel cards. We're also going to talk about sound. And of course, we're going to talk about my girl, Emma Curtis Hopkins. But right now, it's time for our current event. What are we going to talk about today? Well, the topic I wanted to broach today is about God, the use of the word God in many things going on in today's world. Now, we have to go back into this politics thing because over the campaign, and it's not even about the presidential campaign, it could be any type of campaign, student campaign, I don't know. A lot of people that like to use the term God say, well, God wants this, God wants that. Oh, if you're not for this, then you're not for God, yada, yada. And I don't think that's right. Recently, I was reading online that this reverend, I think his last name is McTurnan or something like that, decided to say that the reason that Sandy came upon us was because of homosexuality. Now, when I read these kinds of things, I often wonder how these people can become preachers, because they are not exuding the essence of love. They're basically talking about hate. They're telling people that they are abnormal and that they can cause all kinds of disasters, and that God is a mean God, a mean-spirited God coming to destroy all things around us. That just cannot be so. Now, it's funny because I looked for this preacher on Facebook. And I started writing this email and about what I believed about what he was saying, and all of a sudden my Facebook froze and I couldn't finish the post, so to speak. So I said to myself, okay, I'm not supposed to send this post because the post wasn't nasty, but it was straight to the point about love. You know, oftentimes people want to quote the Bible saying that God said this about homosexuality and stuff like that. I just don't see it. And so the Bible is subject to interpretation. So one of the things that really bothers me is when people really use God against other people. You know, it's interesting to me in this aspect. Why would somebody want to be something where people are belittling them, they're bullying them, they're treating them like they're nothing? Do you really believe that somebody would want to live that life? Let me tell you something. I have spoken to a lot of black people, and I know some black people that have this certain view. If they were to come back into another incarnation, some of them said they'd rather be white because they would not want to have to relive some of the things that they've lived, with some of the discrimination that they felt. And everybody goes through some type of discrimination, whether you're white, black, green, whatever that you are. But in history, blacks have gotten, a lot of racism and discrimination. So when you hear that, a person say that kind of stuff, a black person saying they wouldn't want to come back black, I find that that's very sad. I mean, if I were to come back, I'd want to come back the way that, God made me, the way that I look now. How do you feel about the subject, Erline? The whole subject.
I was going to say it's many layers that I think that you're talking about. One is a major point about how manipulating I think some people can be when it comes to using religion to perpetuate their ideas over another. And it's pretty common, and it doesn't necessarily have to be concerning like the election, like you were stating. I'm not going to agree with it because I think everybody has their own understanding of God. Mm-hmm. But I do know that God is not wrathful in that regard, because somebody is of a sexual orientation that they're going to go to H-E-L-L.
H-E-L-L.
Yes, I have to keep it clean. No, I'm just saying. So, on that level now, on some other levels, I think this is what people feel to be powerful, because God is all-powerful, all-knowing, and omnipresent. So if they can take the side of, I'm this powerful being, and you're not, then it gives them also more power and feeds their ideas and their self-worth and things of this nature. So, I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing, but it is, like you were saying, a prevalent thing, and I feel bad that the Reverend had to say such a thing, especially with the tragedy. It's a natural event, but at the same time, many people, I don't even think are thinking about homosexuality. They're like,
they weren't thinking about that now.
You know what I mean? They're like, I need to survive out here. I don't even have a house. I was watching television, and this gentleman was talking about how the fire he thought wasn't going to come into his neighborhood, and then it did, and then he's got to paddle out with his kids in the dead of night with all these winds going at like 75 miles per hour. I mean, just all of it was like very dramatic and climactic, and I was like, oh man, like I don't even know how I would deal with that. But I said this is also a reversal, because you talked about race a little bit, and I said, well, maybe, and I'm not going to say this is what happened, but it's another experience of a hurricane from a different side, because Hurricane Katrina affected Louisiana, and it was predominantly maybe African Americans. And now Hurricane Sandy went on the East Coast and hit a lot more different groups of people. So it gave a different perspective on things. But we were talking earlier about how the response has been much better. So I can say, okay, maybe from that experience we've progressed on some level. Right. We have, made a change. But then other people might argue it's because of what you were talking about, color, race. And I don't know, per se. I'm not the judge of that. I can just hope for the better of it. But I don't know about being reincarnated to become a white person.
There's a lot of people that they would want
I like
to
who I am. There are some things I said maybe in another life I might change about myself. Maybe behaviors. Not being, maybe a procrastinator sometimes, or just little things, nitpicking that I have with myself. But to be honest, and I remember saying this as a kid, I would question, I'd say, well, why do people call me black when I'm brown? And why are you calling that person white? Because they're peachy. Because I wasn't really understanding, because, you're young and you're learning colors, So why did we use those terms to describe each other when in actuality we're several different shades? Nobody's really the color of this chair. I mean, if you are, you probably got some issues with your skin. You need to get checked out. So, or you're albino, you're missing some pigment, So, I don't know. I think it's a very trivial topic that many people are struggling, and I wonder the people that made those statements, do they have some, because when you're talking, some identity issues?
Well, one of the things, if my post had gone through on Facebook, is I say a lot of times, especially people that are in the ministry, a lot of gays go into the ministry because they can't deal with their sexuality. Some of the ministers that are gay. And sometimes I feel that people that make those statements are people that are they cannot identify with themselves, that they themselves sometimes are gay, and so they lash out. It's almost like the bullying thing. They lash out at those that they wish they could be out. So I have that theory going out there. But I mean, the whole thing is, when we had one of the other hurricanes or tornadoes that happened in Haiti, that was a devastation. That one, was it Graham? I can't remember who it was, came out to say, well, the reason that happened to Haitians was because they sold their soul to the devil when it went time for them to get their independence. And that was just, it was stupid.
I didn't
It is,
hear that.
oh yeah, it was stated. It was ridiculous. I even typed a little thing to that guy, because you can't, what are you saying? You have a bunch of people that had nothing to do with the past, and they're going to say that they're responsible for devastation of a poor country that has nothing right now, and some of those people are still suffering, and then you're going to add on top of their misery to say that they brought that on to themselves. I think that we need to watch our words. We need to understand what we're saying before we say things. It's just like that that man that says, if a woman gets raped and she gets pregnant, that's God intended. That message that you're sending out when you say something like that is basically, you're saying, okay, to the rapist, let me go out and rape, because I know when I put a seed in this woman, that was intended. God meant to put that child on this earth.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, you
the
make a valid
messages
statement.
that are coming forth because they use God as a weapon.
Right.
If you're using it for good, fine. But if you're using it to manipulate and then to try to get in people's minds, it is wrong.
But I want to ask you the question, maybe they don't see it as being wrong. I think
They don't see it as being wrong.
And I think that's the problem, because in the back of their mind, it's being right. Like, I went trick-or-treating last night. Yes, I did.
At your age?
And like, one of the people put a little Jesus Saves pamphlet and with the candy, and one girl balled it up instantly. Said, I don't need this crap. Right? I was like, okay. I said, it was like, oh, look at this. It's like about God. Oh, how wonderful. I was getting all excited. And then I said, his intention was good.
Yeah, his intention was good.
Maybe the reception for the age group.
Well, no.
Someone like me, yes, I would understand a little bit more, because at that age, you're seeking maybe something else outside of yourself and outside of God and things. I'm not saying everybody, but I went through that age and I was kind of out there. But I just brought that up to say, like, it's perception.
Yeah, it definitely
From
is.
his perspective, he's doing a good thing, but the reception is always a little different. But then there are people who he's giving this information to that buy into it.
That's right.
And that's kind of, I think, where the danger lies, because then you start getting maybe hate crimes or, because you're not like this, we're going to ostracize you over here, and bullying, and, oh, God said this. Because I remember when I went to college the first time around, someone told me that I was going to HELL because
you can say the word.
I know, but no, they just sat in my face because I refused to believe in what they were believing.
Right.
And I just couldn't. I don't even remember the argument. I think it was about Jesus, and was it real? Was he walking from? I don't know. Whatever it was, but I was willing to accept where he was coming from and to agree to disagree.
Right. No, yeah.
But he could not. On any level, like he condemned me Like that was not great. I had to like just walk away from the dude because, and I didn't really know much about spirituality, but I was like, I refuse to sit here and talk to a brick wall. It's just not working. But he was so strong in his faith and his belief, which was instilled inside of him. So if anybody came up to him and asked him to question a little bit differently, look at my perspective, it was just impossible. And I think that's the problem we have. And I'm not saying I wanted to change him, but I wanted him to kind of see where I was coming from. And I think many people are one-sided with things instead of being faceted with stuff. And that's with religions, with sexuality, with I don't know, hair color, whatever. If you don't fit the mold, then get out of here.
Right. No, I tend to agree. But, when people decide to quote from the Bible and say all these different things, it also says, love thyself, love thy neighbor as thyself. So it contradicts a lot of the things that they want to preach out there, because no matter what, every living thing on this earth comes from God. We are all connected to one another, whether people want to agree or not. We have a connection. We can breathe all the energy from each other and feel and sense if we actually give into it. You see what I'm saying?
No, so I understand.
I agree with you that for their perception, they believe in what they're saying is true because maybe that's the way that they were raised. But at the same time, the fact that they're preaching from maybe the same Bible that I'm reading, they're skipping over certain parts of it so that they can guide people to do just sometimes heinous things. It's almost like there's another church group, they decide that, we have these soldiers get killed in the wars, in the different wars, and they said it's because they're gay. And they will go to these kids' funerals.
Yeah, I think I heard about that.
And protest. Now that's disgusting to me. Yet they are a church. We are all, no matter what religious modality you come from, it is all supposed to be about love.
Right.
You're supposed to be able to see that energy or that God or whatever you want, that spirit within the other person. Just see them as they are rather than looking at their skin color, the way they look, this, that, and the other, who they're marrying. And the thing with homosexuality, for me, I think that a lot of people tend to think about the way that homosexuals have sex. And let me tell you, don't think that heterosexuals are not out there doing the same thing. I don't see what the difference is. Everybody has their own thing with how they want to be sex and all that stuff, la da da. But the thing is that what I cannot understand is that people hating people because they're coming together in love. And then some of these people love the aspect of war and hate and say, okay, yeah, we need to go into other countries and we need to bomb these people. We need to do this and we need to do that. Two people coming together, I don't care what sex they are, coming together in love. There should be nothing wrong with it. It's almost at a certain point, they didn't agree with interracial dating. And now, I would say 85% of the country is about interracial dating. More power to them. That's why we have an interracial president. Now, to go back to, you were talking about, the differences between what happened in Katrina. We had a different president at that time.
No, I understand.
President Obama was way more prepared than President Bush at the time in regards to what's going on in Sandy. And I have to give a little kudos, and I never thought that I would do this, a little kudos to Pepco, because Pepco was in my neighborhood for a month before the hurricane, and I kind of felt that maybe they knew something was coming, because when they came to my door, they said, you know what, your power's going to be out for about 3 hours, because we're working on your line so that if something happens again, it's not going to knock you out. And let me tell you how spiritual I am. I really work in spirituality. When they said Sandy was on the horizon, something in me felt like nothing's going to happen here. But I usually pray. I go to every tree surrounding my house. I hug it, kiss it, bless it, make love to it, you name it. Natalie's doing it to the tree. I tell them how much I love them, and I thank the tree for protecting me. Because that's the only thing that the tree is going to understand. I'm here to protect it. It's here to protect me. What people don't understand about their environment is that we're still connected to the trees. We're still connected to the energy. Now, if we choose to work, you can buy books on this. If you choose to work with the energy, with the trees, these trees are not going to fall. Now, I saw some trees that fell. Some of those trees said, you know what, it's my time to go. I got to go. Okay? But because some of them have been standing there for thousands and thousands of years, and the force was too much for them, and those trees. But, we need those trees for oxidation. They are important. Some people like to see the trees go down, chop them up and all that stuff. I'm not for that. One of my neighbors always wants to cut a tree off of the branch of the large tree that's in front of my house. I said, you will have to kill me first. You are not cutting this. I said I would chain myself naked to the tree before she touches the tree. But I'm showing the tree, although it sounds crazy, that I love it that much, that I can sense the energy and the protection from the key. And I also have a picture of Archangel Michael in front of the house. There was a point where the light started flickering. Oh no. I said, oh no.
Yeah, it flickered.
I opened the door, went outside, and said, Lord, let me tell you, Sandy, not this street, not this house. And then the light came back on. So, in times like that, it's not about fearing, doubting, or having anxiety. It's about going back to your principles. What do you know of God? The one thing that you should remember is that God is the only power and that nothing can touch you. Then some people might say, well, what happened to the other people that were praying? There is a difference between praying with an unwavering faith, and there's a difference with praying with fear, doubt, and anxiety. And a lot of people pray that way. They're fearful the thing's not going to come out, yet they're asking God. They refuse to let go. You cannot pray and cry at the same time. That's not going to work. You have to have an unwavering faith, stand firm to who you are, speak your truth, and work your magic. That's basically what it is. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Erline's going to talk about angels and sound, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Reverend Natalie Jean, and Erline's going to discuss angels and sound.
Well, thank you so much for the intro, Natalie. On my way here, I was thinking of something to share with you guys, and I found my How to Work with Angels book, Shining. It was one of those moments. And I also had the angel cards, and I said, that would be a really great connection to make with people. And I guess I can kind of do a quick intro we can open up and find something, but this is a series of books, little books like this Elizabeth Clare Prophet puts out, which are really handy, I find. Like you can carry them in your school bag, in your purse, or a lunch bag if you go to lunch, something in your car, something quick, kind of like a quick pep talk with yourself. And so it has a really good significant portion on different types of angels, colors associated with them, and how to maybe call them on. So I opened up to the Finding Angels, and this is kind of, I guess, for stuff that is kind of lost. So I'll just read a little bit. Angels of every sort help us find lost objects, but the angels of love are especially concerned with providing for our comfort and well-being. They can find things like lost jewelry, clothing, and misplaced documents. It works like this. You make the call, angels, please help me find I always say earrings because I always lose my earrings, and I love earrings. I get so upset. So you can replace that with anything. You remember where it is. Get a vision of its location or even find it in a place. And I sometimes say there's nothing lost in spirit, which also helps me as well. Another great thing about this book, and here's one, an Angels of Peace. So each section of the book has what you would turn to them for. And this one is the color purple, which we have some purple candles. The archangel here is Uriel, the fire of God. And you would ask for inner peace, tranquility of the spirit, untangling of knots of anger and fear, renewal of hope. Can also ask for creativity and growth, world service, ending maybe the war, bringing peace, things of this nature. And they also have a little prayer in the back. We are companions, your brothers and sisters, your servants. We are sent to do a job for you. Only call to us the name of God, I am that I am, the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, to enter your affairs. So you can work with different angels. They have different effects in your life. You can pray to them because, as you know, angels are heavenly and divine beings. The other thing I wanted to show is my little angel cards, and so here they are. They come in a little packet. Also, angel cards. These are actually the first set of cards that I got, and the boxes are like a little torn and weathered through. And I didn't really know much about cards then. I just was drawn to it, and I said, "Oh, okay, maybe I'm to use these for something in my life." So I guess today we can do
Angel love.
All right. So
Yeehaw.
with any cards, it's good to kind of shuffle them. Not really a good shuffler, as you know. I'm not a casino gambler or anything.
On that note, don't forget to vote for question 7. Against or no.
Okay, you sound like the commercials that we come on.
It's been ringing in my ear. That's all you see now. Every 5 minutes, it's like a commercial. I'm about sick of it all.
This has been paid for by...
And this has not been paid for by the campaign, but another group.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Natalie. Okay, I think I did a good job there. All right, so here we go. How do you want to do this?
How many cards do I get to pick?
Oh, you want to do an actual spread? I was just going to pick a card and then read a book. But you want to do like a spread? Okay, we can do 3, past, present, and future.
Okay.
Why not? Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Let me shuffle them again. Okay, one more time. All right, here we go. Ready?
Touch them.
Yeah, I know. You pick. That's why I was trying to hand them over.
Hand them over.
So you just tell me the numbers, because those have numbers, and then you can, I guess, flash the beautiful artwork.
No.
Okay, that's past, our first card.
Dose,
present,
dose,
and then
trace.
Future. All right, so let's see. What's the number here?
19, baby, 19. I got 19. Anybody got 19? 19?
Awareness. All right. So, the quote they have in this wonderful book, when awareness has blossomed, when the flower of awareness is there, there's the fragrance of love. It is inevitable. All right. So, you asked yourself the question, will this bring me closer to the desires of my soul or take me further away? Will this bring me to life and offer more love or take me further into numbness? So I think you were looking for some kind of awareness. And the good thing about this book is, like, if you're lacking something, it says maybe actions to attract the angel awareness. You can ask yourself in journals. You can write stuff. You can also play some wonderful music. You can talk to your friend. They even have Evanescence, Bring Me to Life.
Bring me back to... Really? They have that in there?
Creed.
Love that song.
This Life For. Gabriel Yared and Angel Falls. So this is kind of like a hit.
Yeah, that's kind of hip, because to have Evanescence in there, they're on point.
Yeah. All right, so what is your next card, your present moment?
Bam! This is false. 17.
17. All right, maybe Erline did not do good shuffling. They're all in the same family here. We had 19, now we're 17.
No, but I picked in between. So.
That's true. Okay, so here we go. Purity. We have an angel right here. It is astonishing what force, purity, and wisdom it requires for a human being to keep clear of falsehoods. So, let's see. I don't know what you really asked for, but in your present moment, are you stuck in layers of feelings?
We may need to do these over. I didn't ask a question. My question is... My question is... Just in time, just in time.
All right, we have fun here, as you see. Okay, go ahead. So,
Dorkorama.
Okay, so, okay.
Dose. Trace.
All right, so I'm just going to give you a brief description.
Yeah, you give me a brief.
All right, so what's the number?
21.
All right, that's a good
21.
one. In your past. Let's see. Realization. That's kind of like awareness, though, I feel.
Realize.
Bring comfort to yourself. Please, Lord, touch me with your love. Give me an experience of how you care for me so I know that you are here. Those are ways to attract realization, but I think you already did that in your life with powerful daily practice of focusing on something greater than yourself.
Amen.
All
Lord
right.
Jesus.
They do say copy a quote, which you probably already do.
Numero dos. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Number 23.
23? All right. In the Bible, that is a prosperity number. All right.
Is it? Is 23 prosperous in the Bible?
Psalm 23. All right.
Oh, well, 23 is my birth number. All
right.
That's right. I'm on fire. Come on, Lord Jesus.
Determination is her present moment. And they do bring up Daniel's faith in the lion's den, that story.
That's me.
Overcoming many obstacles.
Oh, yes.
Pushing through mental, emotional, and spiritual blocks.
Amen.
So having it your way. Find a way to push beyond having it your way.
My way.
That whatever is blocking your energy can open. Perhaps you need to let go of wanting to be right and focus instead on finding a solution.
I want to be right.
People bump in to provide the help you need. During great challenges, ask the angel determination to help you step into the flow of energy that can help you in surprising ways, Natalie. All right. And dance to the song, Don't Give Up.
Oh, they know me. I don't give up in anything. I do too much.
What's your last?
15.
15. All right. Rolling with the punches. What's 15? Connection. You're going to make a connection. All right. So our quote is, peace is not won by those who fiercely guard their differences, but by those who, with open minds and hearts, seek out connections. So we were talking about love, and we know that is an ever-expanding and ever-increasing force. All right. Ask the angel connection to guide you and reveal the information you need so you can find true love that comes from the source. All right, so you have to open your heart. Oh, play songs by Celine Dion.
What's interesting is that's my favorite female artist.
I Know What Love Is by Celine Dion. On One
I
Heart.
want to know. No, that's not it.
I don't know that song by her.
Which song is it?
I Know What Love Is by Celine Dion. On One Heart. I guess that's the album. And Heaven Is Here by Sarah Brightman on Fly. All right, Natalie.
I'm on fire.
Before bed, reflect on your day and think about ways to connect more. Okay, very nice.
Merci, Buckups.
You're welcome. The other thing I wanted to briefly mention are some cool things that I have. I found this here at the station. These are some really nice bells that you can kind of use to line yourself. Like you just go and let them vibrate. That feels really good, right? And that kind of, I think we use it in yoga or prior to meditation to kind of bring you back to one in center, and then you can kind of go about what you're doing. This is a Tibetan singing bowl that I purchased from the Tibet shop a while ago, and I was kind of enamored with it. Well, this one's a small one, but they have really, really big ones, and the way he kind of described it to me is it feels out your energy. And what you can do is just hold it out in your hand like this, and then you tap it. Kind of does what the bell does, and you're supposed to be able to kind of feel your energy vibrate and how long you can hold that. And sometimes people's ring very low or very high in the vibration that they're emitting. And this is a great tradition that they've held for centuries in Tibet. And it's also a good thing to do maybe prior to meditation or after meditation or during prayer time. So that's something that I wanted to share with you today. So thank you so much for giving me the chance to share that.
Wasn't that nice?
It is, and you can purchase these online, and also if you go to any spirituality shops or shops that sell little Buddhas or things of this nature, it's a really great thing to have around.
Well, my mother bought a huge one
at the really big one.
That expo that Pathway magazine has. They had it back in September, and we stood there for several hours, well, not hours, but an hour, because she went through every single bowl before she found the one that she wanted. She kept listening. She's like, do I need this? Do I need this? But she really enjoyed the sound. She eventually bought one. I haven't seen her use it yet, but I'm sure she will use it at some point. I'm not in her room all the time.
Yeah, it's not something that I will say that I frequently go to, but when I do need it, it's there. So.
No, I think sound is very important. Sound can be very healing. Music in general, depending what song you want to listen to. I know that, which is going to sound odd, is that when I'm driving here to the studio, my favorite thing is to put on is Eminem.
Yeah,
and Eminem is extremely graphic, but I am in traffic. I need something where my head is bouncing up and down while I'm listening to it. And you know what it's made me do is really listen to his lyrics. And although some of them are vulgar, I have to agree with the vulgarities. A lot of the stuff, you can see where his pain is, where he's been in his life, and everything that he's been through. You know, I would endorse, people to go and listen to his stuff. If you can't take the cursing and all that other crap, don't buy it.
Well, they have they might have
the clean,
the clean version.
Well, I don't know, there'd be no music.
Yeah.
That's how much vulgarity.
I mean, I think they have to make a clean version for all the music.
I mean, I play some of his songs on my playlist for when I teach. But another artist that I like to use in regards to music is Enya. I absolutely love her voice. And Celine Dion. I mean, these are very moving and gifted people. That's just an amazing thing.
Sorry to interrupt, but I've been watching The Voice.
Oh, yeah.
And I never really took to it, but it's been a good experience for me in terms of watching. And I was telling my boyfriend, like, I mean, these people really know how to sing. The judges, like, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and that gave me much more respect to the industry because, yes, you do have the studio singers that can make, because I keep thinking of the housewife that made that one song.
Party for the Party.
But,
her vocal ability is not there.
Right, versus someone who's grown up in music, studied music, lived, breathed, and now is able to kind of share with others, So that shifted my perception on what it really takes, behind all of the glamour for musicians.
Well, what I really love about The Voice, it's interesting, and I only caught this because I was home because of Sandy. This woman, when I first looked at the interview, the girl looks like she looks like a boy. Okay, first of all.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Deborah?
Yeah.
With the glasses?
Yeah. And I think both of her parents are preachers.
Yeah.
And I think before the show she came out to them, but they knew. I mean, like she said in this interview.
Oh, really? I didn't know she was. I thought she was just different. That's what she said.
No.
Honestly.
My gaydar is stronger than yours.
Yeah,
and I have one. She sat there and she was just like, before she got on the show, she told her parents and they were like, and? Like, it was like, because she has a girlfriend that is always with the family and stuff like that. And finally, she just came out to her parents, and her parents are so accepting. And she said, Deborah, she said she's so happy with her life since she's come out. She can be herself. And when she was a teenager, that's when she shaved her head. And there were some people in the church that were against her. That were against her and stuff like that. But you know what? She's risen up. They asked her, did you care? Did it change your idea on God and spirituality? And she's like, no, because I know that I come from God and I work for God and I follow the word. But she's so happy and she's so quirky. I love her. Now I just want to go watch The Voice so I can see the show. I do watch it from time to time. But what I like about The Voice is the fact that they don't care about looks. It's all about your vocal quality. Now with American Idol and all these other shows, and not to bash these other shows because I watch them too, they focus on your age. They focus on what you look like. They almost want to tell you that if you're past a certain age, you can't be a star. That is BS. Mm-hmm. You are a star when you believe in yourself and you know your success and you know your gifts. That's the end of that, and that's why I love my girl Emma. Now we're going to turn to Emma Curtis Hopkins, my favorite girl. She's like my bestie. Somebody asked me yesterday what I was for Halloween. I didn't get dressed up, but I said I'm in spirit. I am Emma Curtis Hopkins in spirit. Now what I wanted to focus on today for a little bit before it's time for us to close here. I wanted to focus on the aspect of fearlessness, because I think that many people need this in life, and it's coming from her book, Scientific Christian Mental Practice, which is a wonderful book that you can get through Divorce or Amazon.com, or I'd tell you to get it on eBay, because so you can get it for $3. So I wanted to read a little bit about fearlessness. All seeds have their seed within themselves. The scriptures tell us their seed is their ego, their vitality, their meaning. If you are treating a case, you are apt to discover that you can see with another set of eyes than the ones you ordinarily use. You might be half awake and see something appear in your presence, yet not in your presence. Thus, while treating a man for lameness, you might see a star shining before you. Its meaning would be its seed. You are to take that meaning for your own use. It means that your word shines steadily like a star of hope to the man's helpless mind. He is feeling a little ray of hope. Its seed is the kindness of the law to you. It is your business to stop thinking about your treatment about the man and give thanks that your words have worked so well. If you're pledged to a principle, it will work for you in loving kindness. We definitely all have to have some type of fearlessness in our work, in our lives. What I love is that when Emma speaks, she says, well, the first thing to do is to bow the head and let the Spirit speak of faith, confidence, and steadfastness. We have come to the wall of partition. We are where we must let the Spirit say, I do not believe in mixtures. I do not believe in failure. I believe in success. So if you're a person that is going through some kind of fear regarding your ambitions, your gifts, or whatever, your goals, your destiny, your mission, this is something that you can say over and over again until it gets ingrained in your consciousness. I do not believe in mixtures. I do not believe in failure. I believe in success.
Yes.
And the other thing that she states is, I do not believe in evil. I believe in the good. I do not believe it takes time for goodness to prove itself powerfully. I believe goodness demonstrates itself instantly. I do not believe in sickness. I believe in health. I do not believe in trouble. I believe in peace. You will bring the patient's good health out with great skill. And then you can also say, I do not believe in evil, I believe in the good. I do not believe it takes time for forgiveness to prove itself powerfully. I believe goodness demonstrates itself instantly. I do not believe in sickness, I believe in health. I do not believe in trouble, I believe in peace. So she repeats that over again. So, we need to learn that we cannot have fear and think things are going to come out all right, because that fear will beckon us to believe that there is no God. And God is here to tell us that there is a God that moves every single day. Then there's a little story. A German mother got down on her knees to pray for money to send her boy to school. She was so deeply absorbed in prayer that she did not eat or sleep for 3 days. Then suddenly she came forth, her face radiant. She had received a mental assurance of answer. That very day the money came. Go by yourself alone with God, sometimes, and speak alone to Him. Reason with the Almighty, as Job said. Now you can do that. You can sit, you can pray, but that's all she did. She was focused on God the entire time, and the money came to her. So if there's something that you require, I like to say that you lack, because we lack nothing. Our consciousness can be in a different place. We need to have our consciousness believe that we are prospered. So you can say, there's nothing at all. Peace is here. I do not believe in disturbance. I believe in harmony. Now, these are the things that Emma teaches us. This is what moves me about this woman, is that she speaks her truth. She doesn't give in to the illusions. There are illusions that try to come into our lives on a daily basis, telling us there is error. You're about to fall asleep. There's
no,
error.
I'm there. I'm listening to you. So my eyes do get small sometimes, but I'm here.
There are errors and challenges to try to tell us there is no God. Like Sandy, when things like this come into our foray, people will tend to say, well, God, why God? Why this? Why did this happen? Why did you do this? We need to stop doing that. The things that, if you believe, the thing about Sandy's, okay, I don't even like to call her Sandy because I like the movie Grease and the girl's name was Sandy. The thing that came forth, is a mixture of our consciousness. We are so connected to our universe. People don't really understand that. And this is a time of election, so people go back and forth. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of animosity. Some people want you to pick this person, this person, yada, yada. People want you to believe that God is going to create this bad thing. It is a consciousness thing. And what we need to learn from this thing that came about is that we need to change our mind frame. Now, the last thing that I will tell you today is a story that really touched my heart about the whole Sandy thing. This nurse was in a car. I don't know where she was in the car at this time, but she was driving actually through the storm. I think the storm started to hit. And so the car was surrounded by water, and it started flooding. She had her 2 boys with her, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old with her. And I don't remember if she tried to get out of the car or something. The car overturned. And she tried to hold on to her children. She held on so tightly to her children. She said the wind was so hard and forceful. The wind literally ripped her children out of her arms. She was devastated. Immediately, she got up to the surrounding home. She went to somebody's door. She said, "Can you help me?" And you know what the person said to her? "I don't know you," and shut the door in her face. She went to another person's house and the person said again, "I can't help you." This woman is crying. She is suffering at this moment because her 2 kids, her only 2 children, have been ripped from her arms. And 2 people, just like they did to Jesus, shut the door in her face. She sat in a corner for 12 hours crying for her children. Crying. And it is devastating to me that people can just shut the door on somebody that has lost her 2. She begged these people. Her 2 children, 2 years old and 4 years old, don't know anything but love. They only know the love from their parents. Crying for 12 hours. It's interesting. 12 is finality in spirituality and numerology. And after the 12 hours was done, she got up. And she saw a police car come. And she waved it down and she said, "Oh, I need help." Well, they found her kids. And unfortunately, her kids were dead. One was waist deep in water. The other one was, well, at least the other one was close by. And it is a shame that in this day and time, we have people that will shut the door on somebody that has lost their children. Because what's going to happen to those people, they're going to be in a situation where they're going to need help, and the door will be slammed in their face. Because for me, what comes around goes around, and it's a sad situation. Now, if it had been me, I would have been the first person to say, "Let's go out," because I just love that stuff. I would have gone out in the rain. The rain could have thrown me here and thrown me there, but I would have helped that woman, without a doubt. And I don't have kids. I have cats. And I think about these stories about these people that have lost their lives. And, there was a police officer who I think he removed 12 family members from the home. And then he went back into the house one more time to make sure everybody was out. And he ended up dying. He drowned in the home. There was another, a father and son drowned in the basement of their home. So at this point, people need to give thanks. Even if you weren't in New Jersey or New York or the Middle East or the East, you need to give thanks for what you have around you, even if you think it's nothing. Because right now, you could have had a lost loved one. It is a shame that more people don't want to lend a hand to somebody else, especially some people. They say they're religious, they say they're spiritual, but they'll be the first person to shut the door on somebody else. We need to take a lesson from that, and I have to go back to this thing about, this new healthcare thing that wants to, this healthcare is supposed to help everybody. And for me, I just don't understand why people, they say they're just going to take money out. I don't really care how much money they take out of my thing, because I know it's going to help somebody else. We're supposed to be here guiding each other, loving each other, working towards a common goal and holding each other's hand throughout all this turmoil. And all you hear It's not all you hear, because there's some people out there that are doing their best to help others. But when you hear something like this, it is detrimental. This woman is suffering now because within those 12 hours, she could have found those kids and they could have been alive if somebody had helped her. And what I read later on is that some of those family members went back to those doors. They knocked on those doors and they said, "You couldn't help her during this time?" And the people have nothing to say. What can they say? Because now they have to live with that for the rest of their lives. So I implore people, you need to go out there, you need to help. You need to guide something. I don't care if you just smile at somebody, because sometimes they need that. Or you hug somebody, you tell your parents that you love them. You need to do that. Appreciate the people that are in your lives. Learn to help other people that are not in your life. Now, next week we'll have something even more special, because every week you're going to learn something new. You're going to be able to choose the thing that's going to move you and guide you, because we're going to talk about all types of spirituality here. There is no judgment. You can choose whatever you want. But remember, you've got to speak your truth. Stay firm. Walk the walk and talk the talk. And be true to who you are. And remember that God is the only power acting in your life. It's been great talking to you again. See you next time.
Thank you for watching.